This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.
Welcome back. The Independence Secretariat has launched the 50th Independence Anniversary Calendar of Events for 2023 all the way to 2024. The committee, with Prime Minister Philip Davis and wife Lady Anne Marie Davis, along with Chair of the Secretariat Leslie Miller Bryce, and students from across the country, gathered at the University of the Bahamas' auditorium for the announcement of events. Mrs. Miller Bryce outlined several events on the 100-plus page calendar, which includes a 242 challenge that starts on May 3rd and runs until December 31st, marking 242 days. 242
days, which includes Eat Local, Eat Fresh initiative. For 242 days, we will celebrate the sourcing of our food by highlighting farmers markets, local farmers, fishermen, and our local industries. My Country, My Responsibility initiative. This 2-4-day challenge seeks to shift the culture surrounding cleanliness and sanitation of our neighborhoods, communities, and public spaces, inclusive of community cleanup activities. The Secretariat is taking a step further with community engagement exercises to engage Bahamians everywhere to do their part, show their pride, and be committed to cleaner habits and behaviors. Healthier, Wealthier, and Wiser Bahamas Challenge. Let us all end our 50th Independence Year healthier, wealthier, and wiser.
Other events will include community enrichment, family-friendly activities, recognitions and tributes, spiritual reflection, and youth empowerment, among other things. Prime Minister Davis also addressed the students, encouraging them to spread the word and participate in the independence activities.
I want you to return to your schools and tell your friends there is a special event for our nation's children, National Jubilee Day, in early May, which will connect all of our schools in a day of shared celebration. And on National Assembly's Day, each individual school will celebrate our history and what it means to be Bahamian in their own way. We will ensure that everyone on every island can enjoy the festivities as one nation. We'll also make arrangements for the global Bahamian diaspora to take part through events planned abroad. It will be a year to remember. After all, we only turn 50 once. I look forward to joining you in celebration and jubilation as our nation embarks on the road to 50 and beyond. And may God bless all of you, particularly the young amongst us, our future. And may God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The calendar of events can only be found online, as the events and the dates are subject to change. The mobile QR code can be found in today's and tomorrow's newspaper. You can also visit www.celebratebahamas.com or visit any of the social media pages at Celebrate Bahamas. Celebrating 50 years of Bahamian independence, Genesis Academy held its National Pride 50th Independence Ceremony under the theme Marching to Our God. And what better way to kick off the event than with the chair of the Independence Secretariat, Member of Parliament for Seabreeze, Leslie Bryce, who challenged those in attendance to embrace their Bahamian pride.
I believe your theme is right on track. We must march towards God. March toward a more prosperous and peaceful Bahamas. March toward a brighter future. But what does that look like? In this calendar of events, you will also see the official 50 Ways to Celebrate list. I believe there are key ideas on that list that will help us all march towards God. Pray. It is the first thing we must do. Pray to give God thanks. Pray to ask God to protect us. Pray to ask God to guide our leaders. We must participate in a community cleanup and stop our littering. We must do all that we can to keep our beautiful country clean. If we value what God has blessed us with, we must protect it, maintain it, and show our pride, because it belongs to each and every one of us.
The campus of the school was decorated with Bahamian designs, paying homage to the rich Bahamian heritage. It displayed photos of forefathers, including prime ministers past and present, along with other icons who contributed to Bahamian history. The keynote speaker was Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Glenys Hannah Martin.
The unique sense of humor, the interesting outlook of the Bahamian people, the rocking rhythms of jumping, those drums, and the fervency of the fear of God in all things. These intangibles are the fuel and energy of who we are and what we seek to, and why we were compelled to commit to this journey of independence. And we see the manifestation in all things everywhere. The journey to independence began before you were born. Most of you, there's one or two of you who could speak to that. Initiated by your grandparents and great-grandparents. Before July 10th, 1973, this territory, this archipelago, was the property of the United Kingdom, a country thousands of miles away and very culturally different. To understand that more, you must learn the history of slavery and colonialism, two very important phenomena in human history.
The 50th Independence Committee launched a number of events which can, again, be found online, or you can use the mobile QR code which can be found in the newspapers tomorrow. That's Friday, March 17th, or you can get it in today's newspaper if you can still find one. The Bahamas Information Services Department, BIS, was formed by an act of Parliament in 1974 with a mission to ensure effective communications between the government and the people of the Bahamas, in addition to providing information to and inquiries from local, regional, and international media. Once housed on East Bay Street, the staff at BIS are currently occupying space at ZNS. Miles Larota, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for BIS, gave an update on proposed new facilities to house BIS and its staff, something he described as a pressing issue as there is currently a lease in place for some $33,000 per month that the government continues to pay.
The government and NIB, as a matter of fact, is looking into acquiring property as it relates to that existing property, and we hope shortly that that deal would be finalized and new ownership would be in place, and so that we could outfit the new offices of BIS, and so that they could work in an environment that is conducive. We know that they're presently occupying space at ZNS, and ZNS want BIS out, and BIS wants to be out of there. So hopefully, within the not too distant future, as we close on the deal with regards to that building, that we can move forward to moving BIS into their new facilities.
JCN has learned that the new BIS office will be located on Collins Avenue in the area of the Palmdale Primary School. In the meantime, Minister Larota says the department has also been busy improving its services.
We continue to methodically and deliberately build organizational capacity at BIS year after year as difficulties of the government permit. In the 15 months since coming to office, the department has developed and launched a standalone web page to facilitate this mission.
BIS is also mandated to promote the policies and programs of the government while assisting with public relations, but not for the promotion of party politics or politicians. The Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation announced the return of its annual winter residence receptions across the islands of the Bahamas following a 2-year break due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The purpose of these social events is to celebrate and express appreciation to second homeowners on the family islands. Receptions began on February 28th and they will run until April 10th. Every year this happens. They begin in Abaco and they end in Andros. During the reception, winter residents will have the occasion to mix and mingle with tourism executives and people-to-people volunteers. Guests will also have a unique opportunity to sample Bahamian dishes and beverages. There is live performances of Bahamian music by local artists, Jonkadu Rushouts, Bahamian trivia, plus much more. Latia Duncombe, Director General of the Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, said the Winter Residence Program is an essential component of the Bahamas' tourism product, and the Ministry of Tourism's executive team is committed to growing these events so our friends across the globe will see that the Bahamas is the best destination for a second home. And finally, the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation was excited to host 20 students from the University of Miami at Hidden Worlds, Our Oceans, Our Future immersive experience in its continued effort to promote the importance of protecting and preserving the ocean. The writing for digital media class was led by Bahamian journalist and former reporter Kyle Joaquin, who currently lectures at the University of Miami while he's working on his PhD. Students had the opportunity to engage with multi-room art displays highlighting ocean conservation efforts here in the Bahamas. The exhibit featured a Junkanoo-inspired mural by Bahamian artisan Angelica Wallace-Whitfield, underwater shark photography by Bahamian cinematographer and professional freediver Andre Musgrove, and ocean conservation-themed artwork by students from across the Bahamas. According to Joaquin, the University of Miami course provides the students with a good understanding of writing styles that are appropriate for communication in the digital age. That'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jareno Saunders. Thanks for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.